All right, we are live for a little Friday live talk. Excited to connect. Excited to just basically open up the mic and just have some free flow conversation back and forth. You bring the topic. Let's find out what's going on. So I'm looking forward to get a chance to hang out, streaming from a couple different sources today. So we'll see how this turns out. But welcome to the live stream. My name is Mike, the host of Detroit's number one late night or I don't know, early evening talk show. How's everybody doing today? Let me check everything on my end, make sure everything is good. Other than that, let me know who's watching, who's tuning in via the chat room, or when the phone lines open up, feel free to give me a call, 313-462-0027. Would love to get a chance to speak to you directly. And so let's dive right in. I'll check in via chat. Any new viewers out there, let me know where you're watching from, and I would love to acknowledge your presence and welcome you to the fold. All right. So let me do some house cleaning first before I open the phone lines, and then we can do that. And so let me check a couple things on my end here. I'm trying to make sure because I'm trying to attempting a stream on Instagram for the first time. I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. So give me 1 second here to make sure I am streaming correctly, trying to reach more people. And then also, I want to make sure I give a shout out for all those people who have taken advantage of the opportunity of getting your weight up, supporting the channel, as well as just accumulating more weight while you still can. And so, what I want to make sure I introduce to you guys is I'm going to have a some type of RTD affiliate program where, for those that are interested in just merely sharing the concept of getting your weight up, you have a chance to actually earn physical weight yourself. So let me know if you guys are interested in that, because you do nothing other than just share the message of the importance of getting physical and then be able to earn and be rewarded for your efforts. So we can do that. All right. So we got Ricardo Givens. It says, "What's up, Mike? Social Security will be gone this year." Um, yeah, yeah. Okay. So we can dive right into that, Ricardo. So yeah, as far as the long term role of the Social Security network, Social Security program, is definitely going to be taken away pretty soon, just because with all the stimulus going and the talks of a fourth, probably more permanent type of stimulus package, that will make the whole idea of getting a monthly payment obsolete, to where they're going to put it all together in one. So I do believe eventually, as a part of the universal basic allowance that's coming, they're going to just incorporate all that together with one big payment. They're not going to have the older population that actually put into the system over their entire working life get a $1,400-$1,500 check and then get stimulus. That'd be too much money. The government never wants people to have too much, just enough to keep you around and keep you begging for more. So I do agree with you on that. This year, don't know, but definitely by the end of probably next year, when that whole CBDC stuff is officially rolled out. So we got Eddie Cruz in the building from NYC. We got Jim Diggs. We got Monkey King from Vegas. Eddie Cruz says, "Isn't it 7:42?" Yeah, it's 7:42. So it's early evening. It's not late night. It's more so early evening, and so we can do that. And it says Mike must be Dominican. Not that I'm aware of. Midnight Green in the building. We got Tony B. We got Gene. What else? Okay, a couple more things here. Then I'm gonna open the phone lines. We can jump right into it. Got a couple things from the Discord that I want to pull out before we dial back in. Bruce Leroy. We got Norman. And we got Alan. We got Chip. We got who else? Says, "Got my Scary George coins today. They are bad, but hey, man, I appreciate you for supporting the channel as well as getting your weight up." And so, as I mentioned beforehand, I'm working out the details now for the RTD affiliate program, where you get a chance to earn weight for helping others get your weight up. Because like right now, before the spot price of silver surpasses 30, is the best time to really encourage people to get physical in the form of silver in particular, just because once it goes past 30 and it sustains the 30 and above, it's off to the races. So a lot of people will probably be discouraged in a sense and think they missed out, but it's just the beginning still. Okay, Christopher K said, "Let's talk about a community like-minded. A community of like-minded is going to get worse than 1929 depression." Christopher, I'm about that, man. Feel free to call in and share some insights, some thoughts. Let's bounce those ideas off each other. Okay, so let me do a little house cleaning before I dive any further, and then I'll open the phone lines, and then we can get into some of the brass tacks. So let me go share my screen here. And just basically for those that might be new to the fold, may not be familiar with what's going on, let me do a little house cleaning and then we can dive in further. So, as I mentioned, for those that are just tuning in or just new to the community, throughout the day, go to rethinkingthedollar.com and you get a chance to stay up to date on what's happening in the news, from crypto to gold and silver to just relevant topics in regards to the social and economic realm in general and the political sphere. Just by going to rethinkingthedollar.com, you can do that. And then also, for those that are interested in joining us for the off-air topics, didn't have one this week. The schedule was kind of hectic, but become a Patreon member and you get a chance to join us for actual off-air talks. And then I want to make sure I make it available for everybody. If you are on Discord, join the Discord page and just go to the social media tab beneath this video here, click Discord, and then you can join us and share articles, videos, you name it. A good way to connect with the community and also talk and bounce ideas off each other on Discord. So definitely do that. And then this is what the link looks like here once it pops up on my screen. So this is the app here. It's 179 members so far, and 20 people are online right now as we speak. And so that's where I get all my articles that I talk about during the evening. Okay, so I'm back. All right, so let's talk, man. And so it's free for all Friday. I want to make sure I make it available for people to share whatever is on their mind or whatever is out there, subject matter, because a lot of things are going on. And once again, it's always good to be able to talk about it. Dominican says, Mike sounds like a Coke dealer. I'm not slinging that type of weight, but I am encouraging people to sling the silver, the silver weight right here if you can. But anyway, phone lines are open. Let's talk. Hello, caller. Which name are you calling from?
Emmanuel from Baldwin Park, California.
Emmanuel, how you doing, man? What's on your mind this evening?
I'm a little nervous because I'm all right. Before I get off fanatical and stuff, I don't know who believes in the Bible and prophecy, but I do.
Okay, yeah.
And, in the Bible it says there's going to be a false prophet and he's going to give power onto the peace. And he's going to deceive a lot of people, right? Yep. I'm looking at the news and I heard something about the Pope endorsing a website, a group called InclusiveCapitalism.com.
InclusiveCapitalism.com. Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
If you can pull that up, please. I need everybody to see it. Go to InclusiveCapitalism.com. I think like yesterday. And the leader is Lynn Forrest de Rothschild.
That name sounds familiar.
Exactly. It's going to be everywhere. Even though I've never met a Rothschild in my life, it should be popular, right? Because they're in every organization, the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, all of them.
Yeah, they're not just in, but they are the orchestrators and the owners of the central banking cartel for the most part. So go ahead.
Exactly, founders. Anyways, I want to point that out because if you go to the website and go and click to the corner and click what is inclusive capitalism.
Yeah.
Click that. If you can pull it up, click it, and then scroll down all the way till you see aspirations for systemic change. And read what it says right there. All right. They're aligned with the World Economic Forum.
Yeah. Okay. So I got the page up now, and I am scrolling, and I'm clicking on what is inclusive capitalism. Okay. So yeah. So I mentioned this before.
Scroll down to aspirations for systemic change.
Okay. I see it. Dignity and equality, health and well-being. For people, is dignity and equality, health and well-being, skills for the future, for the planet, climate change, nature loss, fresh water availability, air pollution, water pollution, resource availability. And then we got principles of governance. We got a governing purpose, quality of governing body, stakeholder engagement. Okay, that sounds familiar. Ethical behavior, risk and opportunity oversight. For prosperity, we got wealth creation and employment, innovation and better products and services, community and social vitality. So, this is
No. Hang on. I want to make a point really quick because it's not the part I want you to read. I want you to go to About Us, like what is inclusive capitalism, and scroll down all the way until it says all the way to aspirations for systemic change, and read that specific paragraph.
Aspirations for systemic change. Okay, so that's the very first paragraph. Then at the bottom it says council members make actionable commitments aligned with the World Economic Forum International Business Council's pillars for sustainable value creation, people, planet, principles of governance, and prosperity, and that advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
The website is Council for Inclusive Capitalism with the Vatican. If there is a false prophet, it is that man. The man partnering up with the Rothschild family, the man who's partnering up with CEOs of America, Bank of America, Johnson and Johnson. There's an interview by CNBC who covered it, and they interviewed Lynn Forrest, their Rothschild.
Yeah.
And she was so blunt, and she was promoting the website. That's the reason why I clicked on it.
Yeah.
And I'm so scared because I know Revelations, and it talks about a false prophet who gives on power to the beast. He promotes the beast.
Yeah.
And the World Economic Forum was talking about how you're going to own nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
Now you have the Pope endorsing them. It's like it's scary.
Yeah. And so, but here's the thing: it's concerning. Not necessarily. I mean, okay, depending on how you take it, but yet knowing that, of course, you mentioned to start this off with that you are a believer in the Bible and that you believe in biblical prophecy. So the Lord actually told you. So you are pretty much, you're part of the 1% as far as those that believe and actually are aware of what's already planned. But then also, if you're familiar with the end of the book, you know that those that are in Christ, that we win. So these are events that have to unfold to get us to the final hoorah, which is when the kingdom of heaven comes to earth and we live, so you know how that plays out. So it's very concerning because we're witnessing it, and I
wouldn't be surprised if he comes out tomorrow and says he is God. The man is God. And now you have South America, Mexico, Africa, who are very Catholic dominant, who are going to be looking at this guy as a god, and he's partnering up with the Rothschild family, who, as we know, are involved in everything.
Yeah.
And they say it's plain and simple. They're aligned with the World Economic Forum, who claims that they're going to do a global socialistic government where we're going to own nothing.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
Yeah. It's very concerning, very, but these, so clearly, I know, everybody who's been tuned in know that we're in biblical times because it's playing out just in accordance to the way the Lord has determined it for. Because everything that's going on is not like just by coincidence or accident. The Lord is still in control. So keep that in mind and be of good cheer, my man. I can understand how this can be very discouraging because it appears in the natural that those that are in Christ or those that are believers, we're losing. But yet hold strong because, once again, God knows what's going on. He knows what we're able to handle and what we can't handle. And I think we're going to be all right, man. Keep your head up. And definitely this information is very important because it's everything playing out right in front of us, man. But, I'm of the mindset that, the Lord's in control, man. And other than just kind of trying to warn people and help other people, our job as believers is to help people become citizens of the kingdom of heaven, i.e. to be born again. So our job is to literally preach the kingdom of God like we were told to by giving people the chance of salvation in Christ. That's what we're supposed to do. And everything else, I believe he's going to take care of. So, but hey, I appreciate you.
Thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate what you're doing. Not a lot of people actually do talk shows and talk about real issues. A lot of them they care about like, I don't want to be racist. I don't want to be like, they cave into the council culture and all that shit. But you're doing a real service.
Well, hey, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling and bringing that to our attention.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike, it's low blood pressure. How's it going?
LBP. I'm doing good, my man. How about you?
Good, man. I got my stimulus. I don't know. Did you see it on the Discord?
Yeah. Do you mind if I bring it up for people to see?
Go ahead. Yeah, it's okay. Hello, everybody.
All right, let me see if I can find it. But go ahead, man. Keep talking, man. I'll try to see if I can find it. Here you go. Yeah, let me. I'm gonna put this on the screen here. So of course, for those that are tuning in, as I mentioned, make sure you guys go check out the Discord page because you get a chance to get firsthand information as it's delivered. But here's something that LBP put in the Discord page. So this is his is a screenshot of his Wells Fargo deposit of $11,200.
Oh man, Mike! Hey, they had they had a little meme of Powerball winners, and they had a guy with 6 kids just like me.
Oh my goodness, man. So it does pay, I guess, to have an army, man. At this current moment, it's not meant to be funny, but it is when the government's paying you, man.
Look, Mike, when I become an old man, I'm gonna have all the kids out of six. At least one of them got to take care of me.
I hear you, man. Hey, Mike B, man, I appreciate the love offering. Thank you for being a blessing. He says, "Yes, sir. God wins." Yeah, man. So what else is going on down in your neck of the woods, LB?
Nothing, man. I'm trying to buy a new house. Remember my scam I was trying to tell you?
Yeah. Is your scam working so far?
When I couldn't find it, I'm already doing paperwork, to buy a new house. They had a COVID disclaimer page. I gotta look for it, man. So I can put it on the Discord, but I have to blur all the names and stuff. But yeah, it had to certify that I wasn't under any what do you call it? COVID, when you don't pay forbearance. It said that I didn't go through the whole thing because, man, the whole contract was 85 pages. But there was a page and there was a COVID-19 disclaimer, and I had to put that I wasn't currently in any forbearance, or I didn't see myself in the future being of any forbearance, something like that, and make sure that I had a job and that my job wasn't gonna be affected by COVID or something like that.
But here's the thing: even with that little questionnaire type of thing, who actually can predict and foresee, the fact that they're going to be in a tight squeeze at some point? So what is that even good for? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. But anyway, if they make a law, saying that you don't have to pay anymore, well, of course I'm not going to pay.
Yeah. Hey, so somebody in the chat, Dr. Moto says, tell that fool to buy some BTC.
Oh my God! They still look. Everybody's getting out this Bitcoin bandwagon. A lot of people are finally seeing the light of the whole scam. But I don't know. I don't want to argue with people. Let them put the money wherever they want.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They will do that, and more than likely, I think it is at this current moment. It's two approaches. You're either trying to protect, or you're trying to grow it, or trying to do both at the same time. So a lot of people are excited the fact that you're getting a couple of Satoshis because you're anticipating that next week they're going to double or triple. And so, you're going to actually end up earning some on top of what you put in. Whereas in those that are in the more tangible realm, which a good majority of the population probably do both. But, you get yourself an ounce, you sit on it and just let the government and the central banks destroy themselves. And then when things are rebuilt back up, you'll have something to start off with it and at ground zero. So, but yeah, that's kind of people's approach, I guess, man. Oh, man. But what else is going on, man? Look, I might have lost him. LBP, you still there? All right, man. Phone lines are open. Give me a call, man. Let's talk. Whatever other subject matters you guys want to touch on, feel free to do so, man. I want to hear from you guys. And so a lot of stuff is happening. What do we have? I think next week, I think it's going to be some major movement with the FOMC and Jerome Powell and his crew as they come out announcing, Operation Twist, yield curve control. It's going to be something to save face and keep interest rates from rising with the treasuries, short and long. And so they're in a mess. But think about the response when the central bank that has the world reserve currency comes out and decides to cap the rate of currency moving forward. And basically saying that, hey, we're not going to allow rates to rise beyond this point. We're going to control the price of money from this point on. Every nation around the world is going to start dumping bonds, and the Federal Reserve will be stuck. No way of unwinding it. Anyway, hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Lefty.
I'm sorry, is you say Russell?
Lefty, L-E-F-T-Y.
All right, man. How you doing, man? Lefty, what's going on, man?
I'm all right, sir. I've been watching the show. I appreciate the information I get from you. I want to know, is there any fraudulent? Because I try to get my weight up, and I got distrust with the U.S. Gold Bureau. I don't know if they are. I don't know if you heard any fraudulent companies giving out fraud medals or anything, just taking people money or anything.
Not offhand, no. But give me the rundown. So they got you for your weight or what?
No, they ain't getting me. I've been listening to you and trying to get my weight up and trying to figure out, best move. And I never did it before. I'm a first time for everything. I'm just getting into this, and I want to make sure I don't get scammed.
Yeah. So the U.S. So right now I'm not, so I'm gonna pull up on the screen here because I'm not let me see here. That's the wrong page. I'm not familiar with them. I've never purchased from them, but off rip, I just looking at the website, it looks like it's something. And any viewer out there in the audience that might be familiar with the usgoldbureau.com, let us know. But it's one of those things where I assume. So you've already purchased something from them, or you're looking to?
I got an Ed Moyen. They give me this thing, Ed Moyen, separate thing. Like everything seems official.
Yeah.
I've been trying to, every time I get a couple of hours, just put some sort of because I'm listening to you and.
Yeah. I would say, if you're happy with the service and the price of the premiums and whatnot are not too high, keep doing what you do, man. It's better to have something than nothing. And then also, definitely depending on what area you're in, check your local areas for some reputable coin dealers and establish a relationship with those guys or gals down there. And I'm sure they'll probably save you a couple dollars at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because I'm talking, you were talking about the cost points. They put premiums on it.
Yeah.
I'm still studying anything. I'm watching your show and I'm just trying to, learn.
Yeah.
My money.
Yeah. Well, hey, man.
I appreciate the information, though.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. I enjoy it. My goal is just to try to share my passion of trying to decipher all this craziness, encourage people to basically question everything and try to take matters into your own hand as much as you can, man. But hey, I appreciate your support. Appreciate your call, my man.
All right.
Yep, you too.
All right.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike. This is Richard in Atlanta. How are you?
Richard in Atlanta. I am doing good, my man. How are you doing? What's on your mind?
Well, about a month or 6 weeks ago, there was a fella on Teen World by the name of Stephen Lev, Leeb.
Uh-huh.
And he said something like the miners were mostly over in China, and there was about 70% of all the miners were in China.
Mm-hmm.
Would that make you fear a little bit about investing a lot into Bitcoin?
So I've mentioned that several times. That's one of the many angles that I use as in my approach of being a skeptic of how everything has progressed very well with no problem or resistance, and people are believing in this technology. And so I think it's 60% of the current mining and the whole rig aspect is actually in China, and it's heavily concentrated over there. Of course, more nations are jumping on board, but the fact that China has not, they've come out with some on the surface type of regulations or whatnot for their own people, but they still allow those miners to utilize the Chinese energy sources to mine it. So I am concerned because I think that eventually that 60% will probably be shut off, because I don't think the Chinese want competition with the digital yuan, which I assume they want to actually use as a global trade mechanism themselves and have their own citizens have an option known as Bitcoin. I don't think it's something that's in their game plan. So I think they're allowing time to pass, more people to get into the Bitcoin space before they call themselves trying to pull the rug. But that still leaves 40% of the mining power that's scattered around the world, other places. So the network will still be up. I think it'll just may be a major blow to confidence, and people might sell off out of panic. But then again, you're going to have the billionaires buying it with no problem. So as of now, it still appears to be decentralized as far as the mining rigs, even though there's heavy concentration in China. So that is of concern, yes.
Well, the fact is, I think Mr. Steven mentioned, like, if they wanted to, like, increase from 21 million Bitcoins, if they have over 51% control,
mm-hmm.
they could run a scam. Did you remember
that? Yeah, I heard about that. So and that's the mysteries. And so I'm not too technical in nature to know the code situation and the ability to, because I heard, I think if it's not the same interview, I heard that it will cost approximately, several billion in either the hash rate power or whatever the technical term was to actually do that. And the person was saying that they don't see governments really wanting to go through all that trouble, because once again, it'll cause some problems, but it won't bring it down. Like, it can cause confidence to be lost in it, but they can't outright destroy it with a 51% attack. And so once again, I think the technology will continue to evolve. And at the end of the day, I don't think Bitcoin will be the final version of whatever, decentralized cryptocurrency that becomes the most popular moving forward. I think Bitcoin is the first version 1 of whatever might be rolled out, but I don't think it's going to actually be the main thing, just because I think more currencies in that nature might be better off being a proof of stake than proof of work, which is the problem with the mining situation. So that's just my 2 cents, man.
Well, that's a pretty good response. Another thing, if you think about it, there's so many American corporations like General Motors and Ford and other corporations in China. And if you like had a club and you control the printing press, and they say, we don't want people to look at precious metals.
Yeah.
Let's send a bunch of money and control these Bitcoins so people think, hey, I'm gonna buy some Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah. So watch this. So what I'm waiting on is the official announcement, because I think it's already taken place. You have like all the nations, like whether it be like Nigeria, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Iran, Turkey, all those nations, I would assume that they are using their own central banking fiat currencies to buy Bitcoin directly. So when it's officially announced that some central bank is using that as their primary reserve over gold or over USD denominated debt, then I think that's going to be when it's officially off to the races as far as the central banks, because it's going to be one of those troubled nations that make that announcement, and then every other nation going to follow suit. But I think the first nation that comes out announcing that, unfortunately, the U.S. going to respond, very unfavorably in our nation with some type of, event that will probably make other central banks rethink that model. But it's coming, man. And no doubt, I imagine that central banks already got Bitcoin on their ledger somewhere.
You mean the same scenario of Gaddafi in Libya when he says, "I think I'll do a gold dinar"?
Yeah, that type of event or something of that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't end too well in that regard. So, but hey, man, I appreciate your call and appreciate your thoughts, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, be good. Yeah, man, good stuff. And I think pretty soon, there will be an official announcement, if not already. Because think about this. We got the retail investors, which are extremely excited. A lot of the younger generation leading the charge. Now we have the institutions, hedge funds, the pension funds are getting on board. And then eventually the governments, of which there are already some governments. I think you was a Ukraine or one of those Scandinavian type countries. They have some Bitcoin that they confiscated that they're keeping on their balance sheet as an asset. And so it's going to be more governments, then the central banks, and then that's all she wrote. And then at some point down the line, there's going to be some type of glitch in the system or something that's going to cause this to come crashing down. I'm not so that Bitcoin is the beginning and the end of this decentralized stuff. But that's just my opinion. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mike, talking from Oakland. How you doing?
TB, doing good, my man. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad, man. I ain't talking to LBP no more, man. All that money he got.
LBP is getting those checks, man. Yeah.
No, he told us about it though.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. And I think, and the thing is that that's not it, man. And the fact that they've allowed the rumors of the fourth stimulus, and is it a possibility? Just the fact they're talking about it lets people know that it's coming, man. So you're gonna get another 11, 12 plus. And here's the thing: if it gets down to that monthly stipend type of thing, what they gonna do then? You know what I'm saying? They can't give them 11 G's a month.
Well, I look at it like this when it comes to handing out money. What have they done since last May? They've done almost $7 trillion since last May. That's a year. That's war money.
Yeah, for real. But think about this. Unfortunately, according to how they're meaning the mainstream media and government and the central banks are treating this is war. We are in war, the war of cases. And so as long as, this continuation of this war is underway, there's no amount of funds that they won't throw out there. So we are technically in war.
No, we're in war speculation.
Yeah.
How smart is Elon Musk? I asked you.
How
smart do you think he is?
I want to say he's a very bright man. He's a very bright man.
Why would you put your money in something that someone owns 50% of and you don't know who that person is?
My honest opinion is because I think he's been privy enough to be given some inside information as to how the orchestrators of this reset is actually using this Bitcoin technology, and if he knew that this was just something that was going to be a fly by night type of thing, he wouldn't have done it. But yet, because I believe he knows it's going to have some time on it, they're going to allow it because and as I mentioned before, the governments and central banks, they need Bitcoin as a primary driver of central or blockchain technology adoption to pick up, because it gives people hope, which buys them time to roll out the CBDC and to use their young technology. Because I came across an article today, man, of how they're orchestrating the MCBDCs and working on literally how they can connect them all up to each other. And of course, they're trying to spin it for our benefit, but they need all this excitement around this new asset class in order to roll out the CBDC stuff. So I think the governments and central banks actually wanted to win in the meantime. So he knows that, I think.
No, the world is a lie.
Okay, I can go with that. I can go with that.
This whole thing was built on lies. They started with the Bible. Mm-hmm. Now they're coming into this CBDC thing. Mm-hmm. And I sent an article in Discord the other day. They said they cannot take away cash. If you can't take away cash, what do you introduce me to the CBDC thing for?
Yeah.
Because you lead me down the path you want me to go. They use people like, and this game is almost up because they use people like Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. They've got all the little time speculators in there talking about let's make money, we're making money. Mm-hmm. And now they got to get these big time people in there that owes favors to them mm-hmm. and say, hey, jawbone this. Ray Dalio, jawbone this.
Yeah.
Michael Saylor, jawbone this.
Yeah.
How do we know they got it? We don't. And they just getting people in it, and they got to keep this game going until the time's up. They're all in it together.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
They're all in it. When it comes to the countries, they're all in it together. It's just a setup for the next one.
Yeah.
And they just ain't quite ready for it yet. But, the game's almost up when you start talking about heavy hitters starting to get into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at okay, I don't mind getting into it, but who owns the other 50%? We don't know, but don't worry about Satoshi. He all right. No, Satoshi ain't all right with me. And then, you buy $100. Bitcoin go up to $400 with my $100. I need the Bitcoin to go up to $200,000 in order for me to make a profit. I'm not making any money if it continues to go up on my $1,000.
But think about this. You
make you lose your interest in the actual money that you got in it.
Yeah, but watch this. If you put $1,000, if you would have put $1,000 in last month or the month before, you would probably have, I don't know what the percentage is going up. It's went up significantly. If it's got to 60,000, you would have, so just say, 2,500, 3,000. So you doubled your money, or roughly could have doubled your money in the last couple months, especially. And if you were like, okay, I'm gonna sell it now, and got out again and bought some silver, bought something else with it, you did good.
No, but what you did was you bought speculation and turned it into a hard asset.
Yeah.
In 2 months' time, if I had purchased Bitcoin,
mm-hmm.
I would have doubled my money, but Bitcoin has doubled itself. So I only made $2,000 where Bitcoin's made $100.
Yeah, but watch this. Also, a lot of people, and so I think that, I'm not up here defending it, but I'm looking at it from just being open-minded about everything. And a lot of people, especially the original adopters or people who've been in for quite some time now, they look at it as the next standard of, global value, to where like everything is priced currently in the dollar terms. A lot of people quote things in Satoshis, just like the way Mike Maloney, quotes things in ounces and weight. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people look at it as like, okay, if I have 0.001 Satoshi, that to me could end up down the line being of something that I can use as a part of my retirement savings, even though I don't think nobody gonna be retiring in this decade anyway. But you see what I'm saying? So people look at it as the standard, and they don't denominate it necessarily in dollar terms, to where that's why they're not quick to sell it.
But that's speculation, though.
No doubt. But watch it.
In that where as gold and silver, it will never go to zero.
No doubt. No, and I'd never knock that. But given the fact that the printing press around the world from every country is going through the roof, it's good to say that, of course, you hang on to those digits denominated in your national currency, or those pieces of paper, you're going to be on the losing side. So just having a little bit of Satoshis on the side, put it in the wallet, forget about it, come back. If the power's still going, the ledger's still operating, it's going to be of use to somebody out there that might accept it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you can't say the same thing about paper. So you're really, really speculating / you're gambling by holding on the paper and digits and that magnitude long term. Wouldn't you say?
No, because they're leading you where they want you to go.
Oh, no doubt. Okay.
They do that. This is it. To do CBDs, the NFTs, or whatever the heck they got. New scam that's going on next week. What that actually does is show you the value of the dollar. Mm-hmm. They've got to keep you in the speculation dollar realm, no matter what they put up. Mm-hmm. They got to keep you in that realm so it doesn't get into the real economy.
Yeah.
If it gets into the real economy, you start looking at the bonds like they're doing now.
Yeah.
Going up and up and up, and they can't fight that.
Yeah. They can't.
They continue to give you the next one's coming out is digital. Mm-hmm. Ooh, digital. So let's fall for that. So they get people in it so they don't spend their money into the economy. And that's sad because people are falling for it left and right.
Yeah.
I'm mad at the person who goes and buys the Bitcoin and then turns it into gold and silver.
Yeah.
This is the best move you can make.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that leads to the
person who's sitting there talking about I'm hollering my theta. I'm hollering this, I'm hollering that, and waiting on the price to go up. You speculate and holding on to a losing instrument.
Yeah. Now watch this. Now, out of the was it 9,000 or how many ever thousand different blockchain type projects? Do you think what's your thoughts on those blockchains out there that are already disrupting certain sectors, whether it be, so you mentioned Theta. So Theta is supposed to be disrupting the whole internet concept and how they can exchange data cheaper, faster, all that stuff like that. And you got all the big tech companies that are taking on nodes and they're signing up and they're the ones pretty much pumping it along with the hype crowd. Then you have some other projects that's disrupting the banking sector, making everything faster, cheaper, whatever. So you got some products and some services out there that are really promising. They have blockchains, they have coins, they have tokens. What are your thoughts on those?
If you go behind the scene and look at the blocks,
mm-hmm.
They're all empty. Mm-hmm. They're just selling you a pipe dream. There's nothing filling those blocks up. They're talking about, it hashes and we could do this to it and do that to it, but all the blocks are empty. There's nobody buying it. It's just jawboning for the next man to buy it so I can sell it to the next man and get my money and get out.
Yeah, and I don't doubt that does happen, man. But I think there's a little bit of opportunity out there. So for speculation or just flat out investing, whichever word we want to use, people are getting paid out there. So having a strategy, whatever you do, obviously it works for some, and those who will be left holding the bag at the end, those are the ones that won't be necessarily the happy campers. But
Mike, we're spending with the current spending rate that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We spent 42% of our GDP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If we go the rate we're going at the end of the year, it'd be 47.
Mm-hmm.
And we always have to best that in order to keep the scheme going, the game going,
mm-hmm.
To say that we're going to have a 7-8% growth.
Yeah.
And we're putting $7 trillion in for a 1 or 2% growth. Is that good money? Is that smart money?
Oh, it's not sustainable. It's not going. That's the problem. It's not sustainable. It's not going to last long. They're trying to buy time, and the question is, what are they buying time for? What are they trying to get? What are they trying to get done? What are they trying to complete before they allow things to come rattling apart, or what?
I'll tell you what it is. China does the IMF. China cannot get into the IMF until this year, October.
Mm-hmm.
Remember they signed up in 16, right?
Yeah.
So they can't get in until this year to get the numbers reset on the value of the currency.
On their portion of the basket, yeah.
They're on their portion of the currency.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet that this year they'll get a bigger stake than the U.S. get, but they won't have enough. So it'll be another 5 years before China can come in and put the hammer down.
And by that time, their digital yuan and all that other stuff will be up and going, fully operational. The surveillance state will be completed along the whole Belt and Road Initiative, including Africa. Yeah. Yeah. So that's
the game plan.
So watch this.
This game plan's been going on. China told you. They said this is our 15th year or 14th year or five-year plan.
They've had several of their meetings given a heads up to their 10-year, 20-year, 30-year plan, and I wonder, are they still on course to meet their objectives? And it just goes to show how I believe this current administration and politicians in general, even the last one, how they have been a part of this whole, like with the trade war last year. That further helps China because it just only forces them to speed up more of what they're trying to do anyway in de-dollarizing. So I think the U.S. is basically buying time as well, so China can actually, take that next role or not. So.
Yeah, that transition has to be somewhat smooth. I mean, we have wars, but they don't mind killing us.
Yeah.
But we have wars, but that trend, and I don't think China wants to go to war unless they have to.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't think it's just got to be a smoother transition. And China's doing it the right way. Even like today, they're like in a trade war talking about bickering about the U.S. doing their thing, and no, we ain't bound to the U.S. anymore.
Yeah,
that's their stance in this trade deal. Yeah. We're not bound to the U.S. anymore. The U.S. has to come to us, and the U.S. is like, we can't even fight them at this point. They got everything.
Yeah,
China has everything. They just need to keep rolling it out. Even with the Olympics that's coming, they're giving them people they're giving them a digital wallet. Mm-hmm. Take it back home with you. Use it back home. We'll cover that. We got that.
Hey man, TB.
Did you know they were doing that?
I know they were. I knew, and that's the thing. It was a matter of if they actually have the Olympics as planned, or what is it? Is it Olympics or Winter Games? Which one is it? Which is it? It's not the Olympics, is it?
One in Japan, the Winter Games.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, and to last time I heard, I was wondering, are they still going to actually have it? Because they postponed it from last year to this summer, and I think they want to have it. And of course, think about what's going to come from that. Like by that time, the whole surveillance aspect will be rolled out, the QR codes, you got to have your passport and all that stuff done. And so I think
no, they told them that we ain't inviting anybody from the other side of the pond. It's just the people on this side of the pond.
Oh, really? Interesting.
So that keeps the funds, and so it's just a build up.
Yeah.
They started in what four states that they had, and they're giving it to the Olympians that's over in the Asia area. And then next thing you know, it's like, okay, Germany, you want some of this with Nord Stream 2. Saudi Arabia, you want some of this? Okay, with your gas. I mean, it's just going to slowly but surely, and nobody realized that because Bitcoin's at $500,000.
Yeah, people are. Yeah, no, definitely. Bitcoin has been very distractive in regards to keeping people's attention off of other world events because so many people focus on getting Bitcoin rich or crypto rich, and not realizing that. You're going to be rich as you don't know what, but you're going to be able to leave your house or leave your country unless you participate in the social and political sphere that they're already orchestrating, man. But, hey, TB, man.
Because you got to, when you turn that money in for those cryptos, what are you going to turn it into? It's only $1.
Yeah.
You got to do the basis. You have to turn it into $1.
Yeah.
That's why China didn't get a swap line. Because when you tie your currency to that swap line, it has to get changed into $1 in order to come back to the U.S.
Yeah.
So China's creating their own version of the dollar and not taking that swap line, and everybody else is taking the swap line. Meanwhile, your currency's going down.
Hey, man. But hey, let me get a couple more calls, man. I appreciate you as always for participating, man. So I'll see you in the Discord, brother. All right. Be good. Yeah, man. Good stuff, man. Good. Love the back and forth, man. Let's talk. Give me a call. Phone lines are open. I am about hearing some more topics of discussion. And so that's the thing. Like, yeah, we just, free flow Fridays, just get a chance to give everybody a chance to share what's on your mind. We had some very interesting stuff earlier. And so for those that are just jumping in, man, we touched on the World Economic Forum and the evil behind that and basically how Satan's at work, man. Like, that's one thing that, just to touch on that for a quick moment, we're in a spiritual warfare at the core essence of everything. The fact that now our politicians have decided to make, the idea of trusting science more important than common sense and just how they handle this whole health situation and their response to where the only solution, the only way we can get back to normal is to put something in your arm that has no proof or anything behind it of being effective. And the majority of the people don't even ask questions as to like, okay, is this just a one and done type of ordeal or what? No, this is like, they're going to turn into some type of seasonal occurrence where you're going to have to every year, like the flu shot, go put another into your arm, not realizing that what you're putting in your arm is not intended for your body. It's my personal opinion that God has no interest in you putting that type of stuff in your body because it's not even medicine. It's not even from the earth. It's created in a lab. It's technology. Anyway, I can go on and on, but I'm not going to. So give me a call. Let's talk. Phone lines are open. I'm curious to hear what else is going on. Jim Diggs, that is very true, man. That is very true. And that is something that's very concerning because it's just not about traveling. That passport is not going to be just about traveling. It's going to then trickle down into every area of your day-to-day life with how you operate, whether it be employment, the grocery store, your medical records, your health records, your social ID score. Is going to become an actual identifier of who you are and all your personal information will be contained in that passport. Hello, caller. Which name are you calling from? Hello? Going once, going twice. Anybody there? All right, give me a call. I will want to hear from you. And also, for those that are tuning in, I don't know what the thumbs up are. I got too much stuff going on my screens here. But if you're enjoying the back and forth, hit that thumbs up button. Show your support for the channel. That'll be a blessing. Hello, caller. Which name are you calling from?
What's going on, Mike, man? It's your boy, the professor from Atlanta. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Oh, man, just maintaining. So, Pops came in town, man, and I went to help him get his weight up. Mm-hmm. And I've had a 3-year relationship with my local guy. He's always had stuff, always had I guess a plethora of options.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's down to coins. He's down to coins now. And I've always asked him, what's your supply chain? He said, some mints, a lot of estates. He said, some of these people are bringing in their silver to go buy crypto. And he said, he shakes his head and looks at them. But, I mean, our half-an-hour conversation today was more of a favor because he's just slam-packed. He's increased his private office inside of this building to 4 offices. He's got his meeting office. He's got his office for his regulars. I've always seen, in a sense, some of his stats just because we've had a 3-year relationship when things weren't crazy. And I remember walking out with a coin for literally $20. You're talking $40. And he's telling me, like, Kenny, we've been talking for 3 years, and I can tell you, my brother, it's happening. So, to the folks out there, that the time to get it, and I'm not trying to preach, is really now. And again, man, I've been in this for 3 or 4 years, kind of opened my eyes. I didn't think I'd really see the day. I knew it'd come, but just a blessing, man. And so I appreciate you and all these folks for just keeping us focused.
Yeah,
because and he's telling me up the pipeline, he's not even talking to the mints anymore because there's big wigs coming in and buying it before the peasant class can even think about it. So he's either estate sales or people just coming in selling because the price is high and they want crypto.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, man. And that's the word on the streets, man. So I appreciate you for sharing that. And that's why, I'm not sure if you just jumped on now, but I mentioned at the start of this as to how, to help incentivize people to encourage other people to get weight. Like, it's one thing, the audience here is relatively small in regards to the overall amount of people in this country that need to understand this type of message. So I'm trying to create like an affiliate opportunity where people who encourage others to get their weight up, of course, with RTD products, can actually earn some silver themselves. So I'm going to be rolling that out probably next week or so. And so it's one of the things where you can earn just by sharing information, man. So I'm trying to find ways to put weight in people's hands. So about to become a weight pusher, man. So
you a blessing, man. Get your courage next to it, man.
For sure, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Take care.
All right, be good. Yeah, man. Good stuff, man. I appreciate that. So, yeah, once again, man. So, yeah, give me a call, man. I'm curious to hear any stories you guys have from either some dealers that you deal with directly or anything out there in general that's just, different, where it's a clear sign or a clear indication that things are clearly different than they were, whether it be prior to March of last year or, anytime before that. And so, for those that might be new to the channel, I remember last year just, formulating some thoughts as to what we're witnessing now and what has been told will be the new norm is that we all can agree now that the Agenda 2030, as well as the World Economic Forum's agendas in general, it's a long-term play. And literally last March was day one of, a 10-year plan. And so now we're technically in the end of year one or day one of step one as to what they're trying to roll out here. And it's going to be a slow, gradual deterioration of society. And it started in the financial realm when they chose to lock every damn thing down, as if like locking down helps anything. But then it's a continuous fear pumping from mainstream media, governor, especially here in Michigan. Governor Whitmer just today flipped the script again, changing the rules of how they're going to do business, and of course impacting our kids and you name it, to where it's like, okay, at what point will you just decide to let the people just live with this? Like, if this is a naturally occurring event, like if this strand that came out of a wet lab in Wuhan, if this is a naturally occurring event, then clearly God put something here on the earth that could help us in the form of a natural remedy, or just promoting health and wellness, like get in shape, exercise, drink more fluids, do some practical things that people need to do, then that will be approached. But no, they're saying trust science, stay in your house, stay 6 feet apart, wear a mask, wash your hands, and go get a shot. Come on now. Anyway, man, I get carried away. Forgive me. So let's talk. Give me here. I get carried away sometimes. Anyway, certificate of the vax with 99% survival. And yeah, so Dr. Motor, that's another great point. When you have, and that's why, I'm going to do infographic pretty soon to kind of share some of my viewpoints. But as I mentioned this several times before, that all of my adult life, the United States of America has always needed a distraction. They always needed a boogeyman or a bad guy to use as a way of keeping this debt-based monetary system afloat. And of course, it was the war on terror from 2001 until Trump. And then Trump got his 4 years in. And here's a test. Here's a test for my people out there. Watch this. I was telling my wife this earlier. So far, Trump has been quiet. There's a lot of people, 74 million people bought into the fact that he was going to be the guy on the white horse riding to save us and make America great again. And the mainstream media now, they're coming out telling Trump he should tell his supporters to go get that shot. And watch this. By this summer or this fall, Trump is going to be on national television somewhere getting his shot, and he's going to give you one of these. And that's right there to me. I was telling her will be the indication that all this was set up in the first place. Trump wasn't here to save nobody or make nothing great. He was here to give you hope, to expose those that are true lovers of this country. Anyway, hello, caller. Which name are you calling from?
Hey, Mike. How's it going? This is Charles out of Atlanta.
Charles out of Atlanta. I'm doing good, man. What's on your mind?
There's an article CNBC put out roughly yesterday, and it says AI will create so much wealth that every adult in the United States could be paid $13,500 per year just from its windfall, and they're expecting that in the next 10 years.
Okay, so watch this. So I saw AI article. I think it could have been related to that, but here's the thing: it's going to create so much wealth, but that wealth is predicated on there being consumers, and so once again, like, who's going to be out buying the AI produced stuff? Assuming it's going to be goods and services, because I know robotics will factor into that, software. They're going to, take over the workforce in general, but you got to have people consuming. And I don't think consumption is going to be people's primary focus moving forward when, your cost of living is probably through the roof and all those, comforts that we've enjoyed in this nation are no longer present. So I'm not sure how that is, but once again, that's, their plan. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. I just wanted to bring it to the group's attention, just because, they're already planning on sitting most Americans down and giving us what they consider to be a livable wage, which is $13,500 a year, probably on top of any UBI. And you look at that, so they're going to baseline every American at what, $50,000 a year? I mean, when every American has $50,000 a year coming in, I mean, you think we have health problems now?
Yeah.
We're going to be the most fast food, the most unhealthiest individuals, which we currently are right now, that will walk this planet probably in history.
Yeah.
So with the vaccine and all that stuff like that, and then paying people to just be lazy and do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at America and yourself. This is a place you want to raise yourself. Not only a family moving forward.
Yeah. Good point. And here's the thing with moving forward, based upon the current trajectory of currency that's being created, 1.9, and then another 2 or 3 coming soon. Pretty soon it's like, okay, how do you begin to price in dollar terms your needs when inflation picks up? When inflation picks up, and ultimately it's just going to further increase the cost of even existing in this planet. Once again, what would 50,000 do for you? It's going to be the equivalent in purchasing power of what 20,000 is now, if not less. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I think one thing that we've been very spoiled and had the privilege of being able to consider the concept of wealth here in this country, because we've been blessed having a reserve currency where the term being a millionaire actually meant something 10 years ago, I think, in particular, because now there's a lot more millionaires and billionaires now, because think about all the currency created. So, in Zimbabwe, they were millionaires, literally within a year or two, but the million didn't do nothing for them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be a matter of actually, what do you own as far as actual tangible assets that produce for you your overall living, whether it be a food to feed yourself, a roof over your head that you don't owe no man up for, land that you know what I'm saying? So I think we're gonna reclassify our terminologies when it comes to the word being wealthy, and using numbers behind that, because the way these numbers are coming, man, if you get a stimulus check every month, you can probably make 100,000 in stimulus, but once again, what are you getting with that? So anyway, man, that's my little rant. I appreciate you calling, man.
Oh, no problem. This last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're in the greatest game of poker that ever exists, and it seems like most Americans don't have the right hand.
I would agree. I would agree with that. I would agree. And that's the thing. Like, so how do we, as people who are awake and aware, help them to question, begin thinking outside the box or whatever? What will be your first approach?
My first approach will be to basically set aside some of your assets or some of your resources, whether it be food, water, shelter, money, whatever, knowing that that's going to be towards a family member or a couple of family members that you're going to take care of. And just understand that, because we can, but the humanistic nature in us, most of us, are not going to allow us to watch our families have nothing.
Right.
So it's going to be on us to take care of them, which is why I think when you talk about the spiritual realm, we're in this exact place and time right now, understanding what's going on and reaping the benefits of the future wealth, so that people from us and after us never have to go through what everyone's going through right now.
Right. Hey, I agree, man. So ultimately, make sure whatever, as a part of your preparations, as best as you can with your knowledge base, set 0.01%, set 1% of some crumbs aside for family members, because that's going to be something that they will definitely need, whether they know it or not. So yeah, I hear you on that, man. And that's one thing I've been doing as best I can around my circumstances, is trying to continue to just preach to my family and friends and whatnot, so they all know what I do on a regular basis. So they're watching. So yeah. But anyway, man, thanks for calling.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, man, good stuff. I appreciate that back and forth, man. Yeah. So AI and robotics. So once again, that's a whole nother conversation there. But we've been talking about it for some time now, so it's nothing new. Like, here, think about this, and that's why I think I was talking to somebody about that whole idea, and it's basically, as of right now, depending on whatever form of work, gifting, service, or whatever you do, trying to figure out how to labor proof, or just, and that's why I remember talking about this a while back, your gifts, and focusing on the entrepreneurial realm, generating as much income as you can from different sources. All that type of stuff is what people should be focusing on now, as opposed to employment, because that model is being changed right before our very eyes. Anyway, I'm ranting too much. I'll take this last call, then we get ready to dial back, approaching our hour point. But so there's so many different angles, so many different topics of things we can touch, that we can definitely get to that. LBP, man, I appreciate that love offering to the channel. And then Keenan, I appreciate that as well, my friend. Thank you for being a blessing. All right, what else we got here in the chat? Throw out some questions, or throw out some more topics that we'll touch on real quick. He already just did. So I see the topic happens to be low blood pressure. His army, he's getting paid to create. And so LBP, the question in the chat, I want to throw out there is, I remember you saying that you're trying to go for number 7. So is number 7 still in the plans? Oh man. What else we got here? Good move, LBP, but a kid. Anyway, all right, people. So with that being the case, as approaching the hour mark, let's get ready to dial back, man. So I appreciate everybody for taking time to join me for this Friday stream. It's always good to connect. If you've enjoyed the back and forth, hit that thumbs up, man. Show your support for the channel. And for those that are still tuned in, as I mentioned, starting off, I'm working on trying to do a better job of encouraging people in different ways and incentivizing people to do it. And so here's a question here from Facebook, from David. Says, are you going to get that jab? And so, David, my stance has always been that I have no interest in participating. And it's one of them things where I know eventually my life will be squeezed to the point where my options will be cut off. But at this current moment, I just feel that that's the best approach for me and mine. And so hoping that the Lord can keep me strong enough and I can stay the course and stick to what I believe in, which is that's not for me. So I would like to be able to say, I don't think I'm participating. So that's just my 2 cents there. But thanks for the question. And of course, a lot of people in the chat, just the uncertainties and the fact that I don't think we're here by coincidence. Like, I think this is an intentional strategy to shift the monetary system and to use this health occurrence as the catalyst to do it. And of course, the goal is to literally enslave humanity officially by taking ownership of our bodies through this technology in the long run. And so whatever is in that shot is not designed to help my body. And as I mentioned before, given the fact I believe this is a spiritual warfare element, this is my temple and I'm created in the image and likeness of God. And so I want to honor him with my temple, because as according to my faith, I'm carrying the Holy Spirit inside of me. And I don't think the Holy Spirit and that technology will link up too well in helping me, live my best life. So that's kind of my little thesis there for myself. But yeah, everybody got to do what they got to do, man. But my goal is just share information as according to I feel led to do so. And of course, as you guys can see here, help people get their weight up. So anyway, people, I can rant on and on. But what my point was, I'm looking to start an RTD affiliate to where by just merely sharing the RTD rounds, and if people purchase using your particular promo code, you'll earn weight yourself. And so I'm working out the details now, but all you got to do is just simply share your interest in promoting RTD products. And then if somebody buys, you get some weight. So it's just that simple. So I will come out with more information for those that are interested. And we can go from there. So other than that, people, be blessed, be safe. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.